The ancient moon of Kepler 186f wasn't supposed to hold any secrets. It was just another dead rock floating in space, or at least that's what lead archaeologist Tom Reed thought until today. His hands trembled as he brushed away centuries of dust from the metallic surface beneath his feet. "Captain, you need to see this," Tom called through his suit's communication system. His heart pounded against his chest as he swept his light across the symbols etched into the wall. They weren't like anything he'd seen in his 20 years of space archaeology. Captain Mike Anderson floated down from the research ship hovering above. His boots kicked up sparkly moon dust as he landed next to Tom. "What did you find?" he asked, his voice crackling through the radio. Tom pointed his light at the wall. "These markings, they're not just decorative. They're part of some kind of record system." He ran his scanner over the symbols, and his tablet began translating the ancient text. "This facility, whatever it was, is over 500 million years old." The captain whistled low. "That's older than anything we've found before." As Tom's device continued to decode the symbols, his eyes grew wider. "Sir, this isn't just any record." He paused, double-checking the translation. "This is a prison manifest." Over the next few hours, more members of the archaeological team gathered around the discovery. They carefully documented every marking, every symbol. The more they translated, the more incredible the story became. "Listen to this," Tom announced to the gathered team. "According to these records, this was just an observation post. The actual prison." He checked his tablet again, making sure he wasn't misreading. The actual prison was a whole planet. Dr. Linda West, the team's xenobiologist, leaned in closer to the wall. "A planet-sized prison? That's impossible. The resources needed would be massive." Tom finished for her. "But these records are clear. They used an entire planet as a maximum security prison for the galaxy's most dangerous criminals." The team worked through their oxygen reserves, refusing to leave until they had uncovered more. As the local star began to set, casting long shadows across the moon's surface, Tom's tablet beeped with a new translation. His face went pale inside his helmet. "Captain," he called out, his voice shaking, "I have coordinates." The team gathered around his tablet as he projected a 3D map of the galaxy. A single point of light blinked in a very familiar location. "That's impossible," Captain Anderson whispered. "The coordinates match perfectly," Tom confirmed. "The prison planet they're describing. It's Earth." The silence that followed was heavy enough to crush diamonds. Each team member stared at the holographic display, watching the blinking light that marked their homeworld. "There's more," Tom continued, his voice growing stronger with excitement. "These records, they're not just a manifest. They're a warning." He scrolled through the translation. Earth wasn't just any prison. It was designed to be the most secure facility ever built. The records say they used environmental weapons we can't even understand. Linda spoke up, her scientific mind already racing. "Environmental weapons? What does that mean?" "They modified the entire planet," Tom explained, reading further. "The gravity, the atmosphere, even the microscopic life forms. Everything was weaponized to contain the prisoners." Captain Anderson stepped back, processing the implications. If Earth was a prison, then what does that make us? Tom looked up from his tablet, meeting the captain's gaze through their helmets. "I think that's exactly what we need to find out." He turned to face the ancient wall one last time. "These records mention observation protocols. There might be more facilities out there, watching Earth even now." The captain nodded slowly. "Plot a course," he ordered. "We're going home. But this time, we're looking at Earth with new eyes." As the team packed up their equipment, Tom couldn't help but stare at his homeworld, visible as a tiny blue dot in the distance. For 500 million years, Earth had kept it secret. Now, finally, the truth would come out. Their small archaeological mission had just become something much bigger. the key to unlocking humanity's true origins. The research ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. Tom and his team had decided to approach Earth carefully, using their ship's stealth systems. After their discovery of Earth's true nature as an ancient prison, they couldn't risk causing panic. "Activate the cloaking shields," Captain Anderson ordered from his command chair. The ship's outer hull shifted, becoming nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. Tom sat at his research station, comparing their scans of Earth with the ancient prison records they'd found. The more he looked, the more obvious it became. Earth wasn't natural at all. It was a carefully designed prison facility, hidden in plain sight for millions of years. "This is incredible," Linda said, looking over his shoulder at the data. "According to these records, Earth's gravity was artificially increased. It wasn't meant to be this heavy." Tom nodded, pulling up more information on his screen. The high gravity was meant to keep prisoners from escaping. Most alien species would be crushed under their own weight. He paused, thinking about what this meant. "But humans, we evolved to handle it. We're stronger than most species because we grew up in what's basically a gravity weapon." The ship moved closer to Earth, staying hidden behind the moon as they continued their research. Captain Anderson joined them at the research station, his face serious as he studied their findings. "What about our atmosphere?" the captain asked. "Was that designed too?" Linda pulled up her biological analysis. "Yes, and you won't believe this. Oxygen, the air we breathe. It's actually poisonous to most alien life forms. The prison designers filled Earth's atmosphere with it as a way to kill any prisoners who try to escape. But we need oxygen to live," Tom said, amazed. "Our bodies actually learn to use a poison as fuel." The team worked through the night, discovering more shocking truths about their home planet. Each new finding showed how Earth had been weaponized to contain the most dangerous prisoners in the galaxy. "Look at this," Linda called out, pointing to her screen. "Earth's bacteria and viruses. They weren't accidents. They were security systems. The prison designers created them as microscopic guards." Tom leaned in closer. "And the temperature changes, the hot summers and freezing winters. All designed to make life difficult," Linda confirmed. "Most species can't handle such extreme changes. They kept the prisoners in a constant state of stress." Captain Anderson paced behind them, putting the pieces together. "So everything that makes Earth seem like a harsh planet, it was all done on purpose. The heavy gravity, the poisonous air, the deadly germs, the changing weather." "Yes," Tom replied. "Earth isn't just a prison. It's the most sophisticated containment facility ever built." The captain stopped pacing. "But that's what doesn't make sense. If Earth was designed to be impossible to survive on, how did humans end up not just surviving, but thriving?" Linda pulled up the human genome on her screen. "That's the most amazing part. We didn't just survive these harsh conditions. We adapted to them. Every single thing that was supposed to kill the prisoners ended up making us stronger. We turned their weapons into our advantages," Tom added. "The high gravity gave us strong bones and muscles. The oxygen made us more energetic than other species. The bacteria and viruses helped us develop powerful immune systems. Even the changing temperatures taught us to adapt quickly." The ship's sensors suddenly beeped, showing movement on Earth's surface. Through their view screen, they watched as human ships launched into space, routine cargo vessels and passenger shuttles, completely unaware of their world's true nature. "Look at them," Tom said softly. "They have no idea they're living in the galaxy's greatest prison. No idea that their ancestors were considered so dangerous they needed an entire planet to contain them." Captain Anderson watched the Earth ships with new respect. "Maybe that's why we're advancing so quickly in space technology. All those prison systems designed to keep us in are now helping us get out," Tom finished. "The question is, what happens when the rest of the galaxy realizes the prisoners have not only survived, but are about to break free?" The team fell silent, watching their homeworld spin below them. Earth's true nature was now clear, But this was just the beginning of an even bigger discovery. From their hidden ship in orbit, Tom and his team watched humanity go about its daily life. Cities glowed like strings of pearls across the night side of Earth, while the day side buzzed with activity. Space stations circled the planet, and ships moved back and forth to the Moon and Mars colonies. "It's amazing," Linda said, adjusting their observation cameras. "We're watching a prison break that's been happening in slow motion for thousands of years." Tom nodded, studying the data on his screens. His team had spent the last week secretly observing human civilization, and each discovery left them more amazed than the last. "Captain, you need to see this," Tom called out, pointing to his genetic analysis. "I've been comparing human DNA with the prison records. It's not what we expected at all." Captain Anderson floated over in the zero gravity of the observation deck. "What did you find?" "Humans aren't just the descendants of one prisoner species," Tom explained, showing complex DNA charts on the main screen. "Our DNA has traces of at least 5 different ancient species, maybe more." Linda moved closer to examine the data. "Are you saying what I think you're saying?" Tom nodded. "The prisoners who survived Earth's harsh conditions, they didn't just survive. They adapted, and then they began to interbreed. Modern humans are a combination of the toughest, most adaptable beings in the galaxy." The captain whistled low. "No wonder we're so different from other species we've met. We're carrying the best survival traits of multiple races." Their conversation was interrupted by an alert from the ship's sensors. On the screens, they watched a group of human workers building a new space station. The workers moved with ease through space, their bodies adapting quickly to zero gravity despite being evolved for Earth's heavy pull. "Look at how easily they switch environments," Linda pointed out. "From crushing gravity to zero gravity, from deadly radiation to extreme cold. No other species can adapt so quickly." Tom pulled up more data. "It's not just physical adaptation. Look at their problem-solving abilities." He showed footage of humans fixing complex machinery, creating new technologies, and working together in large groups. "The prison designers made a mistake," Captain Anderson realized. "They put all the galaxy's most dangerous, most intelligent, most adaptable beings in one place, and forced them to work together to survive." Tom finished. "Instead of dying out, they combined their strengths and created something entirely new. Us." Linda's computer suddenly beeped with new information. "The genetic analysis is complete," she announced. "You won't believe this. The traits that were supposed to kill the prisoners, they're now permanently part of human DNA." The team gathered around her screen as she explained. "High gravity made our bones nearly unbreakable compared to other species. The toxic oxygen became our power source. The extreme temperatures gave us the ability to survive almost anywhere. Even the deadly bacteria helped us develop the strongest immune systems in known space." "And their intelligence?" the captain asked. "Combined and enhanced," Linda replied. "The prison forced them to become smarter just to survive. Generation after generation of only the smartest, strongest, and most adaptable survivors passing on their genes. Created us," Tom said quietly. "But that's not even the most incredible part." He brought up new data on the main screen. "Humans are still evolving, still adapting. We're advancing faster than any species ever recorded." The captain's face grew serious. "Should we tell them? Let humanity know what they really are?" Before anyone could answer, the ship's warning system activated. Red lights flashed across the bridge as their sensors detected multiple ships entering the solar system. "Unknown vessels approaching," the ship's computer announced. "They appear to be a military fleet." Tom rushed to his station, checking the signals. His face went pale. "Captain, they're broadcasting warning messages about containing escaped prisoners." The team looked at each other in silence, then down at Earth below them. Humanity had survived and thrived in a prison designed to kill them. But now, for the first time, they would have to face the truth about their origins and deal with a galaxy that wanted them back in chains. "We don't have a choice anymore," Captain Anderson said grimly. Earth needs to know what's coming. It's time to make contact. The mood on the research ship grew tense as more alien vessels appeared at the edges of the solar system. Tom worked frantically at his station, trying to understand the sudden arrival of so many ships. 3 more fleets just dropped out of faster-than-light travel, he reported, watching his screens. They're all from different alien civilizations, but they're moving together like they planned this. Captain Anderson stood behind him, watching the dots on the radar screen multiply. How did they find Earth so quickly after our discovery? I think they were already watching, Linda said, pulling up new data. Look at this. I'm detecting ancient technology activating all around the solar system, some kind of warning beacons. On their main screen, they watched as dormant satellites and hidden stations began powering up. These devices had been sleeping for millions of years, waiting for the moment when humanity's advancement would trigger them. The prison had an alarm system, Tom realized, and we just set it off. The captain leaned forward, studying the approaching ships. How long until they reach Earth? At their current speed, less than 48 hours, Tom answered. He paused, noticing something strange in his readings. Captain, you need to see this. The aliens, they're scared. Linda moved to his station, looking at the data. He's right. Their communications are full of panic. They keep using words like containment and emergency. Tom pulled up more information on the main screen. I've been analyzing humanity's technological progress. In the last 100 years, humans have advanced more than most species do in 1,000 years. The aliens aren't just scared of our prison origins. They're terrified of how quickly we're developing. The captain nodded slowly. Think about it. In just a few centuries, we went from horse-drawn carriages to space colonies, from simple tools to advanced computers, from basic medicine to genetic engineering. And we're still accelerating, Linda added. She showed them a graph of human progress. The line curved sharply upward, faster and faster. No other known species has ever developed this quickly. It's like we were designed for it, Tom finished. He turned to his computer, typing rapidly. The prison didn't just make us stronger. All those challenges, all those deadly systems we had to overcome, they forced us to become problem solvers. Innovation became part of our basic nature. The ship's sensors beeped again. More alien vessels were arriving every hour. On Earth below, humans continued their daily lives, unaware of the gathering storm above them. Look at these readings, Linda said suddenly. The aliens are scanning Earth, but they're having trouble. Our bodies evolved to resist the prison scanning systems. We're naturally hidden from their technology. Captain Anderson paced the bridge, thinking hard. So we're not just strong and adaptable. We're also naturally stealthy, incredibly innovative, and we develop faster than any other species. He stopped pacing. No wonder they're scared. There's something else, Tom said quietly. He had been digging deeper into the prison records. The original prison architects. I don't think this was an accident. The records suggest they knew this might happen. The others gathered around his screen as he explained. These systems weren't just meant to contain prisoners. They were challenges, tests. The architects wanted to see if any species could survive them all. And if they did, they would become something new, Linda whispered. Something stronger. Earth wasn't just a prison, Tom said. It was an evolutionary experiment, and humanity passed every test. Before anyone could respond, alarms blared across the ship. The alien fleet had just launched smaller vessels toward Earth. Scout ships incoming, the computer announced. Estimated time to Earth's atmosphere, 20 minutes. Captain Anderson straightened his uniform. We're out of time. Earth needs to know what's coming. He turned to his crew. Prepare for emergency descent. We need to reach the world's leaders before those scouts do. As the research ship broke orbit, Tom looked one last time at his home planet. Humanity had survived every challenge the prison had thrown at them. Now they faced their biggest test yet, meeting the galaxy that had imprisoned their ancestors and proving they were no longer just escaped prisoners. They were something far more dangerous. They were free. The research ship broke through Earth's atmosphere like a falling star, racing against time. Behind them, the alien scout ships were closing in. Captain Anderson had already sent an emergency signal to Earth's major governments, requesting an immediate meeting. "Multiple weapon systems targeting us," Tom reported from his station. "Both from Earth and the alien ships. Everyone thinks we're a threat." "Broadcast the authentication codes," Captain Anderson ordered. "Let Earth know we're human." The ship landed at the United World Council headquarters, where military forces from every nation had gathered. As Tom and his team stepped out of their ship, they faced a wall of tanks, soldiers, and aircraft all aimed at them. The council leader, Admiral James, stepped forward. "You'd better have a good reason for causing all this panic," he said, pointing at the sky where the alien ships were now visible to everyone. "Sir," Tom said, holding up his research data, "Earth is about to face its greatest crisis. Those ships up there, they're here because they just discovered what Earth really is and what humans really are." Inside the council chamber, Tom quickly explained everything: Earth's history as a prison, humanity's origins, and the approaching alien fleet. The room fell silent as world leaders tried to process this incredible information. "You're telling us," Admiral James said slowly, "that Earth was a prison. We're all descendants of those prisoners, and now the aliens want to lock us up again." "Yes," Tom replied. "But there's more." He activated a hologram showing the alien fleet's weapons. "They're scared of us. That's why they brought so many ships. They know what we've become." Linda stepped forward, adding to Tom's explanation. "The prison didn't just fail to kill us. It made us stronger. Every security system, every deadly feature, we adapted to them all. We became something new, something that had never existed before." The chamber erupted in discussion as military leaders argued about how to respond. But before they could reach a decision, the main screen lit up with an incoming transmission. The alien fleet had arrived. The alien commander appeared on screen. Its body was long and spindly, evolved for a low-gravity world. "Humans," it spoke through a translator, "you have been contained on Earth for 500 million years. Your ancestors were the most dangerous criminals in the galaxy. Return to your prison quietly, and no one needs to be hurt." Admiral James stood tall. "Earth is our home," he replied. "We were born free, and will stay free." The alien commander's eyes narrowed. "You don't understand. Your bodies are weapons. Your minds are dangerous. Your adaptability threatens the galaxy's stability. You must be contained." That's when Tom noticed something strange on his scanner. "Admiral," he whispered urgently, "our satellites are picking up unusual readings from their ships. Their weapons, we've seen this technology before." Linda checked the data and smiled. "He's right. Their weapons are based on the same principles as Earth's prison systems, the same systems we adapted to over millions of years." Understanding spread through the council chamber. Humanity hadn't just survived Earth's prison systems, they had mastered them. The aliens' greatest weapons were using principles that humans had overcome ages ago. Admiral James turned back to the screen. "We understand more than you think," he said to the alien commander. "We've spent millions of years breaking out of your prison. Did you really think we wouldn't learn how to handle your weapons too?" As if to prove his point, several human ships rose from hidden bases around Earth. The alien commander's eyes widened as their sensors detected technology they thought impossible for humans to possess. "Impossible," the alien commander whispered. "You've already reversed engineered everything," Admiral James finished. "We've known about alien technology for years. We just chose to keep quiet about it." He leaned forward. "Last chance. Leave Earth's space peacefully, or discover exactly why our ancestors were considered the most dangerous beings in the galaxy." The alien commander stared in shock as more human ships appeared. The descendants of their most feared prisoners hadn't just survived. They had thrived, adapted, and prepared. The real question was no longer whether humanity would remain free. It was whether the galaxy was ready for what humanity had become. The alien commander's response came in the form of plasma fire. Bright beams of energy cut through Earth's atmosphere, aimed at major cities. But they never reached their targets. Shields holding at full strength, reported the Earth Defense Command Center. The energy weapons bounced harmlessly off invisible barriers protecting every human settlement. Decades of reverse engineering alien technology had prepared humanity for this moment. Admiral James stood in the command center, watching the battle unfold on massive screens. Tom and Linda worked nearby, analyzing the alien attack patterns. "They're using standard prison containment weapons," Tom called out. "The same technology that was used to keep our ancestors trapped here. But they don't realize. We've had millions of years to figure out how to beat them." Linda finished, her fingers flying over her keyboard. "Every weapon they're using, we've already adapted to defeat." The alien fleet pressed their attack, launching waves of fighters toward Earth. They expected to find a primitive species, barely able to defend itself. Instead, they found an enemy that had prepared for this fight for generations. Human ships rose from hidden bases under the oceans, behind the moon, and beneath the polar ice caps. The aliens had thought they were watching Earth carefully, but humans had learned stealth from surviving the prison's detection systems. "Look at their faces," Admiral James said, pointing to the video feed of the alien commander's bridge. The spindly aliens were panicking as their sensors showed more and more human ships appearing from nowhere. "All defense grids online," announced the command center's eye. "Counterattack ready." Admiral James nodded. "Show them what humanity can do." The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. Human ships, built to handle Earth's crushing gravity, moved with impossible speed and strength. Their crews, evolved to resist extreme conditions, stayed calm and focused while alien crews struggled with the stress of combat. "Their ships are breaking formation," Tom reported, watching the tactical display. "They can't handle our attack patterns. They're not used to enemies who can think and adapt so quickly." Linda's scanners picked up new information. The alien crews are getting sick. Earth's bacteria, the same microscopic life forms that were supposed to be our prison guards, they're affecting the alien ship's life support systems. Even the alien weapons worked against them. Their energy beams, designed to work in the prison's high gravity, were weaker in space. But human weapons, built to punch through Earth's dense atmosphere, cut through alien shields like paper. "We're not just winning," Admiral James realized. "We're showing them why Earth's prison failed to hold us. Everything they used to try to contain us has become our strength." The alien commander appeared on screen again, his composure shattered. "How is this possible? You were supposed to be primitives, just escaped prisoners." "We're not escaped prisoners," Admiral James replied calmly. "We're what happens when you take the galaxy's most dangerous species and give them millions of years to evolve together. We're what happens when you try to use a planet as a prison and it becomes a training ground instead." On the tactical displays, alien ships were retreating in chaos. Their carefully planned attack had turned into a desperate escape. Human vessels, showing combat moves never seen before, pressed their advantage without mercy. "They're sending out surrender signals," Tom announced, "all across their fleet." Admiral James looked at the battle data one last time. The fight had lasted less than 2 hours. Earth's secret weapons, humanity's adaptability, strength, and intelligence had proved more powerful than any alien technology. "Send the message to all alien vessels," he ordered. "Earth is no longer a prison. It's our homeworld, and we will defend it. The children of your prisoners have become their own guards." As the alien fleet retreated in defeat, Tom turned to Linda. "Do you think they understand yet what Earth really created?" Linda watched the last alien ships disappear into faster-than-light travel. "They're beginning to. Earth wasn't just a prison. It was a forge. And it didn't just contain us. It perfected us. Admiral James finished. And now the galaxy will have to accept that humanity isn't just free. We're something entirely new. The stars beckoned above them, no longer prison walls but open roads to the future. Humanity's greatest prison break was complete, and their real journey was just beginning. 1 month after Earth's victory, Tom stood at a window on the International Space Station, watching ships from across the galaxy arrive. This time, they came not as enemies but as diplomats, each hoping to establish peaceful relations with humanity. "Hard to believe how much has changed," Linda said, joining him at the window. "A month ago, they wanted to lock us up. Now they're lining up to talk to us." Tom nodded, watching an alien diplomatic vessel dock with the station. After humanity's decisive victory, the galaxy had been forced to accept a new reality. Earth wasn't a prison anymore. It was the capital of an emerging power. "Ambassador Tom," a young assistant called from the doorway. "The Galactic Council is ready for humanity's first official address." Tom straightened his new diplomatic uniform. After helping discover Earth's true nature, he had been chosen to represent humanity to the wider galaxy. He and Linda walked to the station's main conference room, where representatives from over 50 alien civilizations waited. The room fell silent as Tom took his place at the speaker's podium. Screens around the room showed billions of beings across the galaxy watching this historic moment. "For 500 million years," Tom began, "Earth was known to you as Prison World 139. You thought you could contain the galaxy's most dangerous beings there. Instead, you created something unprecedented." He gestured to the window, where Earth hung beautiful and blue in space. "Every security measure you put in place became a challenge for us to overcome. The crushing gravity made us strong. The toxic atmosphere became our breath. The deadly microbes became our allies. The extreme temperatures taught us to adapt." The alien representatives shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Many of them still couldn't believe how completely their prison had failed. "But your greatest mistake," Tom continued, "was putting all those brilliant, dangerous minds together. Our ancestors didn't just survive. They worked together, shared their strengths, and created something entirely new: humanity." Linda stepped forward, activating a holographic display. It showed human ships already exploring far beyond the solar system, using technology that combined Earth's prison systems with new human innovations. "We're not your prisoners anymore," Tom said. "We're not even just your equals. We're what happens when you take the galaxy's most ambitious species and give them an entire planet as a challenge to overcome." The alien diplomats watched in amazement as the display showed human colonies being established on worlds they had considered uninhabitable. Humanity's ability to survive in extreme conditions had become their greatest asset. "Earth was supposed to be our cage," Tom said. "Instead, it became our proving ground. And now," he smiled, "now the entire galaxy is open to us." An older alien stood up, its crystalline body glittering in the station's lights. "What are your intentions?" it asked nervously. "Revenge for the imprisonment?" Tom shook his head. "We're not looking for revenge. We're looking to explore, to learn, to grow. Yes, we're dangerous, but only to those who threaten us. To the rest of the galaxy, we offer something more valuable: partnership." He activated another display, showing human medical breakthroughs that could help other species, engineering solutions that could solve galactic problems, and innovations that combined the best of Earth's harsh lessons with alien technology. "Our ancestors may have been your prisoners," Tom concluded, "but we've become something they never expected. A species that can thrive anywhere, adapt to anything, and turn every challenge into an opportunity. We're offering to share that strength with the galaxy." The chamber erupted in discussion as the aliens realized what humanity was proposing. Earth's children weren't seeking dominance. They were offering to help the galaxy evolve. Later, back at the window, Linda turned to Tom. "Do you think the original prison architects planned this? Creating a new species that could help the galaxy grow stronger?" Tom watched as more ships arrived, bringing new allies and opportunities. Maybe, or maybe they just created the perfect conditions for evolution and waited to see what would emerge. He smiled as a human ship prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed, heading out to explore new worlds. Either way, their prison didn't just fail. It succeeded beyond anyone's imagination. They wanted to contain the galaxy's most dangerous elements. Instead, Linda finished, they created its greatest hope for the future. Earth glowed below them, no longer a prison but a cradle of something new. Humanity had broken free, and the galaxy would never be the same.